What is up? What is up? What is up? Good morning, Yankees universe. It's your guy Hector back with another banger here for the Yankees Morning Brew. All you DJs out there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's drop the intro. Intro, let's go. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up. Yankees universe, what it do? KOD Nation, stand up. And all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. This Thursday, March 2nd, a fine Thursday, March 2nd. I was a little confused right there. I forgot to switch up the name. It's still so the Knicks Morning Brew. But shout out to the chat. I see we got a few people already in the building. Hold on. My man Rod Thompson is in the building. Rod, what it do? What it do? Salute. My guy Tyler Tabbitt's in the building. Tyler, good morning. Hope all is well. Alan Landsman, the GM of all the GMs. Alan, what's good, my guy? Salute. My brother TC Stills is in the building. TC Stills, what it do? Good morning. Ivan Manny is in the building. My man Ivan, hope all is well. Eric Wallace is in the building. EY. FJ is in the building. My guy G-Man for life is in the building. G-Man, stand up. Oh, the one and only Mr. James Cook is in the building. James, what it do? Salute. Hope all is well. Listen, I know I got a few people in the chat over here, but I know some of you guys may be watching along on the channel Nights of DJ. And if you guys don't mind subbing to the new channel, we got a new channel where all of our content will be hosted going on in the future. If you guys can, go to the Morning Brew Sports on YouTube, sub to the channel. We're having the same conversation, but on the Morning Brew channel. That way you guys can interact with everyone we got in the chat down below. But I got a good episode today. A great episode today. I had to reach out to one of my guys now that spring training is here. You know, I have friends throughout the entire Yankee content creator world, but I had to reach out to one of my friends to have this great conversation. Without further ado, the one and only Joe from The Shift. Joseph, good morning.
What's up, Hector? How are you, brother?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm just excited that spring training is here. We are less than 30 days away from actual baseball being happening. I'm super excited, brother. How are you feeling?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm okay. I'm excited. Yankees baseball on the way, spring training. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know some people they get upset when football season is done, but me, when football season is done, I know baseball is right around the corner. Spring training is right there, and besides the Yankees, it's great to cover just the sport in whole. Last night I had an opportunity to interview one of the Chicago Cubs' top prospects, Luis Vasquez, shortstop, the best shortstop they have in their system, and it was an awesome conversation. Even though he plays for the Chicago Cubs in their system, just the baseball knowledge and just the great baseball conversation. It was an awesome conversation. If you guys want to check out that interview, you guys can go to Nathan Ramachandra, the NNR Hour. Check it out on YouTube and Spotify. It was a great conversation. We was rocking out for about like an hour and some change. But bro, Yankees are here. Talking about prospects. Let's just talk right off the back, bro. What's your impression so far? You did a great video on both Volpe and Dominguez, but what's been your impression so far from both of them young cats so far in spring training, on this early half of spring training?
Yeah, and listen, brother, it's spring training, right? So it's there's only so much that you can take from it. But at the same time, Volpe showing the versatility that with stealing bases the other day. Dominguez, man, it's just the patience that he shows up at the plate,
Oh yeah.
the presence, dude, this kid's going to be special. I'm telling you, he's going to be special. and I would not trade him.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. I mean, I've said it in the past. There's only three guys I would move him for,
Mm-hmm.
and Yordan Alvarez, Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto. And that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much it.
I
So
agree. I agree with you on all three of those players. Those are the only players that I would trade Jason Dominguez for. And
yeah,
hopefully, Yankee fans out there that have been wondering, what are we going to see from these kids? What are we going to see from Dominguez? Is Dominguez a bust or not? Hopefully, this early showing in spring training proves to you that maybe Brian Cashman didn't go out there and make the trade that you wanted him to trade, but we got something good on the rise. And like you said, what impressed me the most about Jason Dominguez was his discipline at the plate. We've seen several counts that he's taken to 3 balls, right? Even in yesterday's game when he struck out, he still was he was aggressive on the first pitch, swung through that, but he was still able to work the count to bring it back into his favor for a 3-2 count. Same thing late in the inning. I know everyone want to talk about that walk-off home run that the catcher hit last night. Navarez hit, which was a phenomenal hit as well. But Jason Dominguez walking to right before him to set that up. That way, the pitcher has a lot more pressure on him in the bottom of the ninth. I think, his plate discipline is years ahead of his age that he has right now.
yeah, man, he's incredible. He's an incredible talent. He won't be ready probably until next season unless
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
comes out, hitting the piss out of the ball in double A
Mm-hmm.
and triple A. But
Yeah.
listen, he only spent a handful of games over there in double A last year, so
Mm-hmm.
we need to just calm down a little bit as far as,
Mm-hmm.
oh hey, he should be our left fielder.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like relax, relax. I'm excited too. I'm so excited for him. Just relax a little bit. But
Yeah.
he's something special, brother. He's a special talent.
Yeah. And my guy James Cook is in the chat right now. He's like, just remember, guys, it's spring training. Relax a little. Listen, James, I am. My emotions is getting the best of me right now, but seeing them young kids coming up. But when's the last time the Yankees had high-level prospects like a Volpe and Dominguez that we've seen in spring training actually perform? Anytime we have high-end prospects that are in our system, when it's time for spring training, they don't perform. But these two are.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know. Like I don't even know. Like you can even go as far as to say, like, I mean, we haven't had these kind of prospects in quite some time. Aaron Judge, right? Homegrown, all that fun stuff. He wasn't even a top 5 prospect in our system back in 17 or 16.
Yep.
That so like it's when it comes to top prospects, we haven't had one in, dude, I don't even know. And Cano, he wasn't a top prospect either.
No, neither was
So it's
Ching
just
Ming
like, when was
Juan.
the
Neither
last one?
was
Jeter? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Honestly. And when you look at Volpe, right? Volpe is the number 1 rated shortstop in all of the minor league systems right now, according to Baseball America. And that right there, the last time that was Derek Jeter, was in the 90s. It's been so long, but it's a breath of fresh air knowing that the Yankees have something down the pipeline with these two. Like you said, I know it's spring training. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves, but it is something good to look at, right? So I just want to bring this up real quick about Anthony Volpe. Let's talk about Volpe just for a little bit before we jump back to Dominguez, right? When talk about Anthony Volpe, he shows the Yankees his fielding chops, right? And he had a dazzling play yesterday, being able to convert a couple of double plays. What's been your takeaway from Anthony Volpe and his fielding, bro?
I mean, listen, in my honest opinion, I still think Peraza is a better choice over there at shortstop. That's my guy. Peraza is the Yankee shortstop. He's been the best defensive shortstop in our system for the past year or two. He's our guy. So, but Volpe, listen, man, everything that he's been doing is very impressive. I don't think for the Yankees, because of Peraza, I don't think he's our future shortstop. Now, you could put Volpe at short and you could move Peraza to third base. I don't know if that's something that they would entertain because Peraza is so good over there. But, Volpe, he's going to find a home on this squad, whether it's at second base, whether it's at third, shortstop, it doesn't matter. He's going to find a home because he is so good offensively too, right? He's so good offensively. Back-to-back 20 home run seasons, so he's got pop. And Jeter, I think The most home runs he hit in the minor leagues was like 6 or something in a single season.
Mm-hmm.
The year he got called up in '95, he only had 2 home runs, Jeter.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
AAA. That's freaking nuts. So
Mm-hmm.
Volpe, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, when it comes to Peraza, every scout has said that Peraza, he's the better fielder, he's the better shortstop, right? But seeing Volpe and his versatility, even though Volpe came up as a shortstop, and if you was to ask Volpe 9 times out of 10, he would probably say he would want to be the shortstop for the Yankees.
Sure.
But his team first mentality, being able to move over to second base, the versatility to play somewhat of third base, I could see him profiling to a second base position in the future if we keep Peraza, right? I'm not sure if the Yankees are going to go out there and try to trade Peraza, but if there's a deal that comes up that makes sense, let's entertain it. But I wouldn't go out there looking to trade Peraza, right? I'm keeping Peraza and I'm keeping these young kids. I see you right there. No.
There is absolutely no shot. I don't care who it is. Trading Peraza, you're trading your starting shortstop. In last season, in the cup of coffee that he had up at the major leagues, 18 games, he hit over 300, 400 on base percentage, right? 800 OPS. I'm not moving him. Just let him cook up here at the major leagues. See what the heck happens. See what you have in the postseason. He played a good short. Please, for the love of everything, don't move him. I don't care if it's for Reynolds. Do not move Peraza. Peraza, Volpe, Dominguez. You can't touch them. Can't touch any of them. My opinion might be, it's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
No, listen. I'm right there with you. And if there's anyone who's going to do the Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass, it's going to be me to defend your take, Joe, 100%. But when it comes to baseball, because baseball it's a tricky sport, right? Anything can happen like that. Any injury can happen, and we don't wish injuries on anyone. But now with the Dodgers and the whole Gavin Lux situation that's going on over there, you did a video about it. Shout out to Jason for 161 River Ave, who did a video about it as well. Do you think now it opens it up so the Yankees can either trade either IKF, Gleyber Torres? What do you make of that situation?
See, with Gleyber, it's interesting, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Gleyber's a top 5 second baseman in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the stats to back that up. He was 3rd in home runs last season, 3rd in RBIs, I think 9th in hits. He was very good offensively last year. And for people who just want to trade him away just to free up some money, I wouldn't do that. It would have to be for an impact guy. It would have to be. Gleyber is just a dude that he's 26, bro. He's not even in his prime yet. And we want to move him. I mean, he had 23 home runs, right? And he only had one bad month last year. One bad month, a dreadful month, August. Horrible month. But if you take that month out, his OPS is like 800, 810. That's very good. So I if I'm moving Gleyber Torres, it's got to be for something good. And also, too, if the Yankees have no intent on signing him, then you got to move him, but make it for something good. You know?
Make it. Don't go out there and make a move for the sake of just making the move. Like I said, when it came to Peraza, right? Don't go out there and just want to trade Torres just for the sake of trading Torres, just to get money off the books. Because that's what we did last year. Just wanted to get rid of Gary Sanchez, and we got stuck with Josh Donaldson. Right. So I don't even want to revisit that. But there's a few people in the chat. I want to give a shout out real quick. I got Michael Caputo is in the chat. Caputo, what it do? Salute. Who else I got in there? My man NYY News, Ruben is in the building. Ruben, salute. How are you doing? My guy Alan Landsman, he said they have had several prospects outside of Peraza and Volpe and the Martian that look good in a small sample size, but Volpe has the high MLB IQ. His arm isn't as strong as Peraza. Volpe also could play second and third base, which I agree. When it comes to the way Volpe's carried himself in interviews, right, and on the field, you see his IQ stand out. And to me, that's one of the most impressive things that I've seen. The way that his IQ just stands out, the way that he can literally be a quarterback on the baseball diamond, right? In the interviews, one of the best things that come out of spring training so far as when they asked him the possibility of him making the opening day roster. And the first thing he said was like, listen, my dream is to play in the major leagues, right? But I'm focused on the little things that I have to do to improve my game at this level. When it happens, it happens. And if it happens, it happens. That's the mindset every young prospect needs to have. And shout out to Anthony Volpe. That goes more on his father and how he was raised. But shout out to the Volpe family for that one.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Caputo, we share the same last name, bro.
Oh, snap. You guys cousins?
No relation. no relation, but same last name. It's a popular one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, bro. Volpe, listen, if Volpe turns out, right, and if he's this franchise player, let's just say he's hitting like 20, 25 dingers a year, hitting 280, 290, 850, 900 OPS every year. I'm just, saying some numbers. But let's just say it does happen. I mean, we could be looking at a potential co-captain situation in like 7 years.
Never know. Yeah, you never.
But what if he turns out? And if like Aaron Judge, high baseball IQ, good guy, right? So if Volpe is the same thing and he's an MVP type player, it's fun. It's fun to talk about.
It's fun to imagine. It's fun to think. That's why after every time we have these conversations, I go to MLB The Show. I turn all the sliders up and I put all the attributes up for Anthony Volpe just to play for a season. But that's just me. Want to ask you, Joe, because someone, Aaron Boone, kind of hinted at what his opening day lineup will be, right? We saw it in the first spring training. Well, not the first, but we saw it in the spring training game against the Nationals yesterday. Kind of looked like the everyday roster. But what's your takeaway on the possibility of how this Yankee lineup could be constructed?
I think Donaldson can't be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Donaldson cannot be in there. He's 37. He's older. He had a horrible year, but he's older. It's not like he had a bad year and he's 29. He had a bad year and he's 37.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Donaldson, I'll pay him $21 million to sit the bench. I do not care. Or to be a part-time player. Unless this spring training, he's hitting the crap out of the ball. His timing is down, not striking out much. Maybe, but no, I can't. I can't start him. DJ, perfect. But you need to find Gleyber in that lineup, brother. Like Gleyber's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Gleyber. I've seen people's predictions of Donaldson in the lineup and not Gleyber. It's like, I hope you made that thinking that they traded him because, Donaldson, no business being in that lineup.
Yeah,
he struck out 10 times against Houston in the ALCS. Why we needed him?
When you look at Josh Donaldson, right, and look at his stats from last year, bro, Joe, it was every category was the worst of his career. At least Gleyber Torres cracked 20 home runs. At least you see potential for Gleyber Torres. So far in spring training, if you guys watch any of the spring training videos or any of the spring training BPs, Josh Donaldson is striking out in batting practice. Like he is striking out in BP. He is striking out in simulated games. When it comes to Donaldson, listen, if he turns it around and is able to find the fountain of youth, or if he turns it around, go into the hyperbolic time chamber, go get yourself a sensu bean, do what you got to do. I'm all for it if he has a bounce back year, Joe. But I'm not betting anything that he's gonna have a bounce back year. So no. I think the most important thing, like you said, is to find a way to get Gleyber Torres in that lineup, have DJ LeMahieu play third base. And speaking of DJ LeMahieu, did you see him turn on an inside fastball yesterday and pull it down the left field line for a double with authority as well?
Yeah.
And that's a great sign from DJ LeMahieu.
That's what you want to see.
Yes.
But not some bum striking out every second, paying him $21 million. It's funny, Hector. It's funny. People want to just move Gleyber Torres. It's funny because Gleyber in September had almost a 1,000 OPS in September.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 1,000. And you want to move him. Nobody hit in the playoffs. Stop bringing that up. I'm sick of it. I'm sick. Listen, Gleyber, we move him for an impact player. That's it. I'm not dumping him. There's no way. Stop thinking that way. You're being a jabroni. But Josh Donaldson, yes, if he has a good spring, maybe, just maybe, but he's not our starting third baseman. As long as DJ, as long as he can play, he's our starting third baseman.
Yeah.
That's our third baseman.
Yeah.
Not Donaldson.
My dream scenario is, that bozo of a GM in Arizona who's been making all of these horrible moves calls up Brian Cashman because they're looking for a veteran third baseman. They can have Josh Donaldson. I know they just got they signed Evan Longoria, who may be coming back from an injury, but they can have Josh Donaldson also. As long as we can get Donaldson off of this team, I know it's hard to imagine the Yankees wanting to eat $21 million just to eat $21 million, but I'll do it in a heartbeat because we have some people in the minor league system, then we have people on this roster already that can fill in for him and do a better job. I would rather see Andres Chaparro, my guy Chappie, be there at third base over Josh Donaldson every single day. Shout out to the boss, Pete Simonetti, in the chat. Petey boy, what it do, my guy? I didn't see you in there, Pete. Good morning. But yeah, Andres Chaparro was another guy I was able to interview through at the Nathan Ramachandra in the NNR Hour. Joe, next time we got one of those interviews, I'm going to tap you in, try to bring you in for one of them as well. But Chaparro, he's been super impressive. What's your thoughts on Chaparro so far?
Listen, I mean, he hit the friggin' crap out of the ball in AA last year, right? Almost a 1,000 OPS. I'm just excited just based off of that. But really quick, Hector, I don't want to take over or move this in a way.
No, not even. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me. We
but,
right here, Jedi mindset. Go ahead, baby.
But Caps, brother, Michael Caps. What are you talking about? Glaber. Listen, Glaber had a bad 2021. And then 2022, 24 home runs, 76 RBIs, a 761 OPS. Like I said, he had a dreadful August. But, I mean, what are you talking about, man? He's a top 5 second baseman, at least offensively in baseball. He's average, above average over there at second base defensively. Mod on. Like, I mean, what are you expecting? Look at the numbers. He's not Altuve.
No.
Right? He's not. But he's good. He's a good second baseman, Michael. Mod on. Come on, buddy. I love your passion, and I love that you love the Yankees. That's so cool. But come on, brother.
Capoose, just to let you know, Capoose, 10:35 is when we'll be doing the open panel, 10:35. Shout out to my man Corey T. He says Joe effing gets it. That's a fact. My man Joe gets it. And if you aren't following my guy Joe from the shift, what are you guys doing with your life? Do something better. Actually do something that's worth value. Follow my man Joe. It's free to just hit that button and subscribe. But no, bro, I agree with you 100% when it comes to Gleyber Torres. I'd rather have Gleyber Torres at second base than Josh Donaldson playing third base 10 days out the week. I know there's 7 days in a week, but 10 days out the week. Yes, I thought I said 11:35. Kapoots, my apologies. But yeah, bro. As well, hold on, because it's now a little battle. I know we brought up Josh Donaldson, but let's have this conversation on Donaldson and Hicksy. When it comes to both Josh Donaldson and Aaron Hicks, both of these players came out and said last year wasn't a fun time for them to play baseball. Last year wasn't a good time for them to be a Yankee. What's your overall take from the both of them? I know you already gave your take on Josh Donaldson. So what's your take on Aaron Hicks in this spring training?
Aaron Hicks, I have a different opinion. Honestly, bro, I've been a fan of Hicks for quite some time. Ever since I think back in 16 or 15, he robbed a home run at Yankee Stadium, and I loved him ever since. When he was a Twin. So, and when we got him for J.R. Murphy, I was like, yeah, we got Hicks. It's just unfortunate that the past 2 years, he just hasn't been very good. I hope he could turn it around, but to be completely honest with you, he should not be our starting left fielder. He just shouldn't be. He's just off, right? And I hope he turns it around. I really do. We have 3 years left, 10 mil per year, so he's kind of cheaper, right? But last season was atrocious, and I know he had a kid last year too, so maybe that screwed up the dynamic a bit for him. I'm not sure, but Aaron Hicks, I have a little soft spot for him. I have to be honest with you.
All right. Listen. Respect it. When it comes to Aaron Hicks, I agree. When we traded John Ryan Murphy for Aaron Hicks and Aaron Hicks came up and was mashing the ball, I was like, oh, we got something here. This is something special. But like you said, injuries, he can't stay healthy. When you look at Byron Buxton with the Minnesota Twins, that's who the scouts thought Aaron Hicks was going to be. They thought he was going to be what Byron Buxton is right now, but the injuries, he couldn't put it all together. Not sure if he has to break down his swing and build it back up the same way Matt Carpenter built it back up. But there's just something in there that's not clicking. Not saying that he is the worst athlete in the world or he's just the worst Yankee out there in recent memory. No. I wish the best for everyone, regardless if you're on the Yankees or if you're not on the Yankees. If Aaron Hicks comes in and he's able to hit you 260, 270, I'll take it, right? But like you said, he's gotten to a stage that we can't go into the season relying on Aaron Hicks to be our everyday left fielder. Just like last year, relying on him to be our everyday center fielder hurt us in the long run. We had to move Judge to center field, make some trades for Harrison Bader, right? So his time as an everyday major league outfielder may be coming to an end. Maybe a situation where he's just rotating in and out of the lineup with Oswald with Oswald Cabrera, depending on where they put him during that day, during that lineup. But if he comes back and he gives us something, I'll take it. Give us a spark of juice for the first 2 months. That way we could trade you at the trade deadline.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at what Michael's saying, dude.
Caputo goes back.
Brother.
Caputo.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love my guy Caputo.
He's
I'm
worse
not
than
even
Joey Gallo. Mike, he's not.
When it comes to Caputo, I'm not sure if he's typing right in the chat or if it's a voice thing. He's just speaking and the YouTube is just putting it in there. But that's my guy Caputo. He always gonna give insight. Shout out to Uncle Tassa, the Pinstripe Chronicles as well. We got another one. Lorenzo Cardona's in the building. Lorenzo, what it do? Mikey Mazza in the 4 Train Express. What it do, Mikey Mazza? Hope all is well with my guy. Make sure you follow Mikey Mazza as well. Alan Landsman said Hicks is easier to eliminate playing time if they implement Judge in left field and Stanton in right field. Hicks was also rusty last year from being injured for so long, so he might have improved, which may be true. What's your thoughts on Judge possibly playing left field, bro?
I freaking love it. I love it, especially if you could get Giancarlo out there and right. Giancarlo wants to play right field, bro.
Yeah.
He wants to play. So if he wants to play, he's not a bad right fielder. He's not bad over there. Just let him play it. And put Judge over and left. Judge is a team player. You can stick Judge at first base and he would do it. Right? Judge is a team guy. So put Judge in left, Giancarlo in right. I'm fine, bro. That's totally fine.
No, listen.
I like it.
I said it last year, right? If they're willing to move Aaron Judge to center field and allow Aaron Judge to play center field, what's holding you up what's stopping you from letting him play left field in Yankee Stadium? Left field in Yankee Stadium is like center field and like probably 25 different ballparks or 28 different ballparks, right? Minus Fenway and probably Baltimore now because they moved the walls back and everything. So if you have no reservations when it comes to playing Aaron Judge in center field, you should have no reservations to allow him to play left field, right? Because when we look at our lineup, there's no argument, right? The best lineup that we could put out there is if Stanton is in right field, Judge in left field. That way, DJ LeMahieu could be in the lineup with Josh Donaldson and Gleyber Torres at the same time. We may bash Aaron Hicks for what he did last year. We may bash Josh Donaldson for what he did last year, but I would rather have Josh Donaldson in the lineup than Aaron Hicks, if you ask me, just to have him at that bottom because he may have some pop.
At least with Aaron Hicks though, with Hicks, he at least he could work a walk.
Yeah, right? That's true.
Josh Donaldson, his walk percentage freaking went down. He struck out more and walked less. So it's like that's the thing with Josh, man. It's like not on, bro. At least Aaron Hicks had a 330 on base percentage.
So my fault, Joe, for cutting you off. I just get scared seeing Aaron Hicks run up that first base line, right? He runs up that first base, and it seems like one of his hamstrings is going to tear every time he's running down that first base line, right? So that's why if we can have JD at third base and have DJ LeMahieu be the DH, or rotate it. If Anthony Rizzo has to be the DH, let Rizzo DH, have DJ playing first base. That's why I think DJ LeMahieu, being that Swiss Army knife that he is super important for this team and its flexibility, because you could go out there every week and have Gleyber Torres play maybe 4 to 6 games during the week, or 4 to 5 games, give him a day off and have DJ play in his spot. Same thing with Donaldson, have him 4 to 5 days to have DJ play in his spot, and the same thing with Rizzo. That way you're constantly rotating DJ LeMahieu while keeping those other 3 guys fresh for the season.
So in this scenario, though, who's your left fielder right now?
In this scenario, who's my left fielder? If I had to go with it, if this is an elimination game and it's either win or go home, I'm putting Cabrera in left field.
So he's your everyday, that's your left fielder then.
Yeah, I don't want to stick him in left field because I don't want to lose his versatility. But if I had to pick him or Hicks, I would pick Cabrera just because of his speed and because I know he's a switch hitter just like Aaron Hicks is. But I feel that he has a lot more pop from that left-hand side of the plate than Aaron Hicks does.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. Oswaldo, as it stands right now, he's my left fielder too.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, I really don't want Donaldson in that lineup every day. It's hard for me to accept that. But then if DJ's your third baseman and Oswaldo's your left fielder, well, then you're losing 2 guys who could play everywhere. I mean, we still have IKF right on the bench, a solid third baseman, right? So who knows? But Donaldson, bro, I don't know.
Yeah. And before I'll let you go, bro. I just want to ask you one thing, because it kind of some news came out this week that kind of hampered this season when it comes to storyline. Manny Machado signing that extension with the San Diego Padres. I know every Yankee fan probably had it in their head that he'll probably become a free agent and the Yankees may go after him. Met fans wanting a reunion between Buck Showalter and Manny Machado. What's your thoughts about the Padres nipping this in the butt early before the season even starts? That way, no storylines can come out around this situation.
My thoughts are this. You're going to have Bogarts, Tatis, and Machado, all with long-term contracts. They'll get old all at the same time. And that doesn't really bode well for the future. For now, it's great. Congratulations, San Diego. For now, it's wonderful. But signing all these guys to long-term deals like that, it's going to bite you. It will. Yu Darvish, they just signed him for what, 6 years at the age of 36? Like, what are you doing? Like,
he's gonna wind up being Satchel Paige.
yeah. It's like, good for you, Yu Darvish. Congratulations.
Yeah, get your money, baby.
But like the Padres, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Nah, bro. But Joe, I appreciate you taking time out this morning, my guy. I love whenever we get to connect because I feel the conversation, it goes by like that. Literally 30 minutes just like went like that. It felt like, bro, anytime you need me to come on to have a conversation, you let me know. And like I said, it's always an open door policy with you over here, Joe. If you have any projects, anything that you want to promote, let me know and I promote it over here for my people. That way they could bomb your channel and go watch you, whatever you're doing over there, brother.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. I've always, I had a blast as well as last time. I post pretty much daily, so that's what I do over there. I'm gonna live.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy it because it's like I do my live streams at 11 o'clock in the morning and you post your stuff right after like 12 or 12:30. And it kind of helps me out because I get outside. Once I'm walking my dog and I leave the house, I got a video from Joe that I can listen to while I'm walking around the block. So I appreciate you, Joe. I appreciate you, my guy. And like I said, let's go Yankees and let's keep the conversations going throughout the season, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Bye, man.
All right, later, bro. See you around. That was my guy Joe from the Shift. If you guys can, please follow my guy Joe from the Shift. Hit those likes as well for the boys. And if you guys are watching over on the Knights of Dejan channel, I'm gonna just put this in the chat once again. If you guys can, please sub to the new channel, the Morning Brew Sports. That's where we'll be having all of our content going forward. Let me do the roll call real quick because while having a conversation with Joe, I wasn't able to get to the chat. I apologize for that. Michael Caputo, yes, I'll be putting the link out right now. momentarily. Lorenzo Cardona said Trout needs to prove himself. Let's see what happens this year with the Angels, right? Because the Angels, they with Ohtani maybe out the door, something gonna happen over there. Tyler Talbot, Trey Turner is not better than Judge. Absolutely not. I would never say Trey Turner is better than Judge. My man Sunil is in the building. Sunil says Trout is DeGrom for the outfield. 30% of the season availability. Yeah. Love the energy from Joe. Uncle Tat says, yeah, Joe got that great energy. I love having conversations with Joe. That's my guy. Who else was in the chat? I don't want to miss anybody. Capoots, of course. TC Stills, my guy. Sunil, Mikey Mazza. All right, guys, I'm going to put the link out there for the open panel. Like you guys know, always when it comes to the open panel, just be respectful for everyone. Allow everybody to finish their take. You will get the same courtesy to finish your take as well. And also, guys, we have to respect YouTube and Twitch's terms of services. So please, no vulgar language, no obscenities, no slurs of any kind. Let's just have a great conversation. Let's just talk Yankees. Because I got a few extra topics down here that I wanna throw out to the panel. See, we already got somebody backstage. They coming in like, hold on one second, because my screen is frozen just a few. Hold on. Give me a sec. I do apologize. My computer is frozen at the moment. Hold on one second. But yeah, it's going to be a good conversation. One second. Hold on one second. Yeah, because I'm frozen right now. Can you just remove stuff from StreamYard? Yeah, I need Jigga Man to help me out with this one, people, because I'm a little frozen right now at the moment. Crap.
Running, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, running. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been petty. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it an FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to.
Oh, snap. Hector has to call in backup. Look at this. Got me just out in the wild. Let's bring up people. What up, Capoots? What up, Mikey Mazza? What up, Eli? Look, I'm faking this really quick, guys. Look, last minute. Just me on camera on a show. It's weird. What up, chat? Everybody good? Oh, wait. I think we got Uncle Tats backstage. What up, Tats?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Right, so look, guys, this is on the fly panel here. All right, so I'm gonna come with you with the hard hitting questions. Do you love Gleyber Torres? And if the answer is no, why not? Hector, take it away, please.
All right. I'm back. I apologize for that, guys. I have no idea what happened. Technical difficulties. I think it was Michael Caputo who was like sending me spam, Caputo. So I appreciate you for the spam. But Li, salute to you, my guy. TC Stills is in the building. Mikey Mazza in the Fourth Grade Express. Mikey Mazza looking like he's a top CIA agent at the moment. I appreciate you, Mikey Mazza, for your service.
I always appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to the chat as well. Thank you to my brother Jigga Man for holding it down while we dealt with the technical difficulties. But Caputos. It's spring training. Listen, Michael Caputo was hunting me down Tuesday when I didn't show up for the show in the open panel, right? But everybody knows that I was dealing with the passing of my family. No, but I appreciate you, Caputo, for reaching out. TC Stills reached out, Mikey Mazza as well. But Caputo, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
I know you're in love with the Yankee prospects, especially Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez. What's your thoughts so far in spring training about the young kids, Caputis? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing that, it is very early to really judge them yet, but we have to just see how it unfolds when when the regular season starts, because Peraza is going to get the call up. Volpe's probably not going to play until, like June or July. But from what I'm seeing, it's going to be Peraza. Dominguez is not going to play this season unless it's the end of the year. But I guess I'll give their prospects some, I'll give them a chance. But we've seen this before. The Yankees always overrate their prospects every time, and they never turn out to be great. The only one that's turned out great was Aaron Judge and Robinson Cano. And like beyond that, who else has been like a superstar, a Hall of Famer on this team? And since the 90s, the core four, we haven't had a crop of great players since the 90s. So you can't say that the Dominguez, Peraza, Volpe are going to be the next Jeter, Mariano, Peta, Posada. That's too early to judge. But a lot of these fans are jumping the gun saying that these guys are going to be the next core four. I mean, I'm not going as far as saying that. I have to see results. And they're making it like these prospects are going to guarantee deliver a championship. What guarantees deliver a championship is buying superstars, buying a World Series. That guarantees a World Series, not prospects.
Well, I push back just a little bit. When you look at the past 5 championships from the World Series, teams who won the World Series, their payrolls weren't even in the top 5 of Major League Baseball. So the idea of buying superstars and buying talent is
it worked in 2009. It worked in 2009.
13 years ago. Yeah, but when you look at the past 5 championships in Major League Baseball, the past 5 teams that won a championship, their payrolls weren't even in the top 5.
Yeah, but the Yankees haven't attempted to buy a World Series in 13 years. So that's whose fault is that? Brian Cashman. He doesn't want to buy it.
Because the past 5 seasons, the teams that have the top 5 payrolls, they don't win championships.
Yeah, well, those teams have better farm systems and they know how to develop. The Yankees don't have the farm system. That's their fault.
And well, now it looks like we do have the farm system. Anthony Volpe is the number one. Anthony Volpe is the number one shortstop prospect in all of baseball. Jason Dominguez is the 10th rated outfield prospect in all of baseball. So let's just see what we have with our young kids. Mikey Mazza, throw it over to you, brother. Same question going your way. I haven't been on a panel with you in a minute, bro. Hope all is well. What's your so far early spring training with these young kids, bro?
So I'm excited. I just want to put this out there for anyone in the chat who agrees or disagrees, but this is the deepest farm system we have had in God knows how long. I am very excited about these prospects. Now, with that being said, it is still early. So now we can't just go ahead and say, oh, well, he's going to be the next Mickey Mantle. He's going to be the next Derek Jeter. We can't do that until they actually prove it. So with that being said, is it exciting to watch these young kids? Yes. Do I want to see Volpe up there? Yes. Do I want to see Dominguez up there? Yes. But they've got to prove that they can handle it and that they can be up there and play at a major league level and play there consistently on an everyday basis.
100%. Can't disagree with you whatsoever. I'm going to throw it over to TC Stills. TC Stills, same question going your way before you throw it over to the greatest of all time, my man, L.I. Yankee King. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, like Fortrain said, yeah, I'm super excited. This is a good crop of young guys. Other than the pitching, we traded away, half our pitching, but Peraza is our shortstop for a while. I see that, and Volpe will be a second baseman. I see too in the future. But Dominguez, Spencer Jones, even your boy Chaparro, Navarez hitting that walk-off home run. I mean, I love seeing the young kids mix in with the veterans. It has to be a good mix. You can't just go out and get a ton of free agents and buy championships. It doesn't work. In the 80s, it didn't work. When they had the pride and power teams, it didn't work. So and the good mix is what they need, and it's coming together. We thought it was going to happen in 2017 with Sanchez and what's the guy, the first baseman?
Greg Bird.
Greg Bird, yeah, the same. The same. It didn't pan out. I think it's starting to come together. I just want to see these other. I want to see Hicks and Donaldson gone, and then I'll be completely excited.
Yeah. Even when you bring up names like Gary Sanchez, Greg Berg, Caputo just put in the chat, Jackson Frazier. When you bring up those names,
Oh yeah.
those three players were never ranked as high as Volpe and Dominguez was. Right. Even when you go back to the days of Austin Jacksons and Jose Tabata, they was never ranked as high as what Volpe and Dominguez was. Volpe and Dominguez are the highest ranked prospects that we've had in our system since Derek Jeter. And that's just facts. You can't argue against that. But I'll throw it over to my man, L.I. Yankee King, before he choke slams one of us through the table. L.I., what's your thoughts so far on this early spring training, my brother? And I like how you growing this out, bro. I see you growing the beard. You're giving me a little competition for the beard. I see you, baby. Go ahead.
Well, the only reason I'm growing out the beard is because my razor broke.
Copy. Heard you. Let's start a GoFundMe account for L.I. Get him a razor. Go ahead, L.I.
Yeah, but anyway, after my razor problems, let's go to spring training.
Go ahead.
I love what the prospects are doing. I love that Dominguez looks poised, looks good. He's not overmatched. He's actually having good ABs. Now, I would send him to AA and just have him be in AA full year. Best case scenario, he's a September call-up. And maybe a pinch runner for the postseason. Just to give Dominguez that feel of the postseason.
Yeah.
Volpe should be a second baseman. He does not have the arm at all. No knock on Volpe. I love Volpe. But his arm is not the greatest.
He could, he has the glove. He can field it with the best of them. Have you seen so far early? He can field it, but like you said, Li, his arm is just doesn't have the strength. And now with the bag being a little bit bigger, that bang play from last year, they're safe now, right? So you need to have that arm strength. Go ahead, Li. Sorry to cut you off.
And the reason why I want to move Torres over to third is because of the shift rules. The shift rules is going to need a more rangier, more speedy second baseman, a more rangier, a more speedy shortstop. And I love Glaber. I want Glaber here long term, but that dude is not as fast as Volpe and Peraza. So you need Volpe and Peraza to be the guys up the middle. And yes, am I putting Torres at third over Donaldson and LeMahieu? Yes. He has the stronger arm. And stronger bat over Donaldson. He's about on par with DJ.
Hey, I can't disagree with you with anything that you just said. When it comes to Volpe, I love Volpe, his glove, his intangibles, but like you said, that arm strength is something that he doesn't have. And every scout out there has pointed out the fact that Peraza is the better fielding shortstop. So if Peraza is the better fielding shortstop, why are we even having the conversation about Volpe being that shortstop? Allow him to play second base. Allow him to, so he doesn't have that shadow of trying to live up to the expectations of being the next Derek Jeter, right? Because that's a lot of pressure to put on a young kid. Move him to second base, allow him to fly under the radar, and just let his bat show what he got. He has the speed. You showed us 2 stolen bases. I like it a lot, but I got a super chat right here. Rod Thompson, he said, let's remember, folks, it's not about buying championships. It's about acquiring the best talent available based on the needs of the teams. The Yankees farm system is the money system. Well, I agree with you with that when it comes to that, Rob, but go ahead, Eli. You got one more thing you wanted to say?
One more thing that I forgot to say. The buying the championships, even if we brought Harper and Machado over here, Hal setting the budget, no matter what Cashman does. Hal is setting that budget. Cashman is kind of a moron. He doesn't know how to do when a budget is set on him.
Yeah, and also too, Li, when you think about it, if the Yankees if they did go out there and spend the money on Harper and Machado, they would have went over the luxury tax so much. We don't even know if they would have signed Garrett Cole. We don't even know if they would have signed Carlos Rodon, right? So the one thing that you could point to and say from the Yankees from the 2000s, when we had the Sheffields and the Giambis and the A-Rods and the Jeters, the one thing that hurt our team back then, we didn't have no aces. We had no eight. We had an old Randy Johnson. We had a bum Jared Wright, an injured Carl Pavano. Mike Mussina was on the opposite side of 32. His velocity was going down. We had no ace back in the days, right? Ching-Ming Juan came up, became our ace, and he got injured and he had to retire from baseball, right? So even if we went out there and spent the money on Machado and on Harper, would we have had the money to go out there and spend the money on Garrett Cole? Would we have had that money to go spend on Carlos Rodon? And I honestly don't think, but I'm gonna throw it over to you, Caputo, right? Just like I was having a conversation with Joe. Hold on one second. Oh, Uncle Tats is in the building. Tats.
What's up, Hector?
Oh, I didn't even. Oh, because you got no video. That's why I was like, oh my God, Tats is here. Tats, I apologize, Uncle Tats, but same question going your way when it comes to Volpe and Dominguez so far in this early spring training. What's your thoughts? And talk to us like you're Jesus, Uncle Tats. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm so excited about the progression of these kids. I have no choice but to be optimistic going into the season. I really don't. You know, of course we're going to see the Three Stooges in Hicks, Donaldson, and IKF. Mm-hmm. And we actually, on the show this morning, we dubbed Brian Cashman as Shep because he's that fourth stooge because of everything that he's done to put us in the situation where we keep having these debates of when is he going to let these kids play. He's locked up all these positions with stupid trades where now that these kids are ready to come up, there's no room for them. And that's not fair to knock the kids about that. That's really a management problem. Mm-hmm. But the way these kids, when you get Volpe, Peraza, Cabrera, Dominguez, you know, even Clark Schmidt I'll throw in there. When you get this next generation of youth that's ready to come up and make an impact on the game and on the Yankees, they have to, you know, you have no choice but to be optimistic about the Yankees' future.
Yeah. You just gotta be, right. And Caputo, I know you're talking about we can't hug the prospects forever. I'll just throw this question going your way. When it comes to the prospects, what's your issue with the prospects, right? Before we continue the conversation, I just want to understand your perspective from it. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going off of past history because we always overrated the prospects in the past. For example, Jesus Montero, Jose Tabeta, Chance Adams, Clint Frazier, Justice Sheffield. I could go on and on. So going off of that, basing off of that, I'm not going to get excited over this. And what the Yankees need are the necessary needs to win a World Series, players that can help us win, to get us over the hump, to put us over the top. And we don't have those pieces to win the World Series. We don't have the necessary needs. This is not a World Series contender. And going off of prospects, guys that have no experience and that are coming up and that are rookies are not going to push the Yankees to win a World Series. Rookies don't guarantee you a World Series. We don't know what these guys are going to be like. They could suck. So we got to go for that too. And they could also be great. But do you have a crystal ball? We don't have a crystal ball. We're not fortune tellers. So you don't know what these guys are going to be like. What if they're busts? Then what? Then what are we going to do? What's the next step? If all these guys suck, then what do the Yankees do after that? They got to have to buy the World Series, right?
I can see your argument, right? And I'll throw it over to Mazza and to TC Stills afterwards. I can see your argument, right? But the same way how you made the argument about if the prospects don't work out and you started listing off prospects that didn't work out, I can do the same. I can make the same argument for players that the Yankees signed that never worked out. I can make the same exact. Jacoby Ellsbury spent the money, that ain't work out. Brian McCann spent the money, that ain't work out. Carlos Beltran spent the money, that didn't work out. You point to one anomaly, CC
AJ Burnett.
AJ Burnett was good for one season.
Mark Teixeira worked out.
Yes, just like Aaron Judge worked out as a prospect, just like Luis Severino is going to be our third starter in our rotation. He worked out as a prospect. Jonathan Lasagna worked out like a prospect. I can make the same argument. We spent money on Carl Pavano and Jared Wright. Did that work out? We traded for A-Rod.
Yeah, but he worked out. That extension. He did win one championship. I understand it was just one, but he did help us. What about Gary Sheffield? Gary Sheffield worked.
Did we win a championship with Gary Sheffield?
No, but I'm looking at the acquisition.
Did we win a championship with Gary Sheffield?
No. What about?
Did we win a championship with Bobby Abreu?
No.
Did we win a championship with Jason Giambi?
Nope.
Did we win a championship with Kevin Brown?
Nope.
So I could make the same exact argument. The thing that you failed to mention, Caputo, those prospects that you mentioned, and I said this before, those prospects that never panned out, they were never ranked as high as Volpe and Dominguez is right now. Is what I'm saying. Mikey Mazza, I'm gonna throw it over to you for this conversation and then throw it over to TC and LI when it comes to the prospects or buying a championship or developing the prospect. What's your take on it? Where do you think the team should go?
So there's one prospect that all of us forgot to mention, and that's okay. But Spencer Jones, he is the left-handed version of Aaron Judge. I'm excited to see him, and I know I'm digressing a little bit, but that's someone to watch out for, as well as Brandon Maea. So those are the two prospects I think are going to be the next, part of that core that comes up. As for what do I think the Yankees should start doing, they should start developing their guys. Now, you can use some of them in trades, which is fine, but they got to be smart trades. But I would really like to see the Yankees develop their prospects and not hug them and not use them. We need to use the prospects when they're ready. Look at Peraza, prime example. They called him up, but they hardly used him. Look, if you look at Oswaldo Cabrera, they called him up and they used him, and look what he did. He gave us that spark we needed. So I think the direction the Yankees really need to start looking into is developing their prospects so that way they can get another core four. Because if you look at the core four, they developed them, and they weren't power hitters, but they did the job that was needed to be done.
Yeah, and now Caputo, I love how Caputo. You just so under the radar, bro. You're like you just sit there with that devilish ass smile while you type it in the chat. I love you so much, Caputo.
I was just you forgot Roger Clemens and Johnny Damon and Cecil.
Well, Roger Clemens was a trade.
Yeah, but they all worked out.
But hold on. But the thing is, you're talking about buying the superstar, right? Yeah. Roger Clemens was a trade. Johnny Damon, the Red Sox didn't want him anymore. So where is he going to go? The Red Sox didn't want him anymore. Wade Boggs, the Red Sox didn't want him anymore.
They did win, though.
Cecil Fielder. But those aren't superstars, right? Those aren't the
Johnny
big time.
Damon was a superstar. I think Cecil Fielder was kind of a superstar.
No, Cecil Fielder, when we traded for him, how many home runs did he hit with the Yankees? He had like 20. He had like 20 or 30 before. But what I'm saying is that he had like 30 when we traded for him, or 35 when we traded for him, and he didn't finish with that many home runs.
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying.
was a big acquisition. And what you forgot? Darryl Strawberry.
But you're talking about guys that are just veteran minimums, though. Darryl Strawberry was signed for a veteran minimum. Tim Raines, he was a veteran that signed for a minimum. So those aren't superstars like breaking the bank type moves. Those are the moves that I would love Brian Cashman to make. When it comes to those type of moves, that's what I would want to spend the money on, guys that we could spend to have a bunch of them instead of one guy. But TC, still, same question going your way when it comes to the prospects or spending money. Go ahead, baby. And you named guys that were all trades, not free agent acquisitions.
Yeah, ahead, I agree. I agree with Fort Train. I mean, we got to learn how to use our prospects. Bringing them up, sending them down, giving them. We got to be.
That's that gorgeous guy. Go ahead, Tats.
What's up, Uncle Tats? Hey, so also we need to redo our scouting. Our scouting needs to be just revamped, and we need to make better moves, not just buying championships, just buying here. He's the latest and greatest. Let's make some smarter moves and not just throw money. The Donaldson and IKF, that's a perfect example. That was the stupidest move ever. Like Cashman tries to, reinvent the wheel. Like let's get together with these, Mania and these new guys, and let's get a plan. Let's get, I'd love to get Reynolds, somehow, get a deal together to get him, but not give up everybody. It's just we just need to make some smarter moves. It's not all about buying championships. That's not going to work. Again, I love the way they're integrating the young guys. Yeah, they're not all going to pan out, but like you said, Hector, these guys are high ranked prospects, and those other guys weren't. So
Yeah. Before I throw it over to Tats, if I can, we got 28 people in the building that are watching right now. It's split down the middle, 14 on the Knights of Dejan. If you're watching over there on the Knights of Dejan channel, please sub to the new channel. I put the link in the chat. That way you could join the conversation over here on the new channel. If you guys do not mind, hit the like button as well for the boys. Uncle Tats, same question going your way when it comes to the prospects or when it comes to the money. Which way you thinking we going, bro? Oh, shout out to my man G Ram de la Isla in the building. My man G Ram holding it down on the island. Appreciate you, brother. Go ahead, Uncle Tats.
Yeah, I think it's time to start shifting more towards the younger kids. But here's one of the evaluations that I have seen. I think the dynasty, as great as it was during those years, and I think all of us can agree, those were the best years that we've had of our lives as a sports fan. But I think at the same time, it spoiled us so much that we want that back so bad that we don't want the youth to come up because they're not ready. And we don't want the veterans because they're too old. Where's the medium? Where's the ground where we have a perfect infusion of kids being called up because they're ready, with the veterans to help them keep progressing? We've lost that. We're never satisfied. I think that's because of the drought of the World Series. Not even just winning, just getting to the World Series. I'll take that at this point. Let's just get there. Let's just be competitive enough where we are a World Series threat. I think that I think that's why we fight with each other so much. Caputo makes some great points. And so does Li, Mazza, TC Steels, everybody else in the chat. We're almost on the verge where we're so desperate that we're not going to agree on anything anymore.
Yes.
That's what bothers me as a fan.
Yes, and to your point, Uncle Tats, great points as well. When you talk about the age, right? And just to let everybody know, we're going to keep the open panel running. We're not cutting off at 12 o'clock today, right? But when you talk about the age of our lineup, when you look at what our potential lineup could be, and you look at the players that are in the lineup, there's probably one or two players that's under the age of 30, and that's Gleyber Torres and Harrison Bader and Jose Trevino. So you got three guys that are under the age of 30. DJ LeMahieu, he's over 30 years old. Aaron Judge is over 30 years old. Anthony Rizzo, over 30 years old. John Carlos, Josh Donaldson, Aaron Hicks, those are all guys that are over 30 years old. Go ahead, Li. Same question going your way. But when it comes to the prospects or when it comes to the money, how are you building the team, brother?
I want to build it through prospects. Let me see a guy like Dominguez. Give Florial left field. Give Volpe second base.
You got to slide that right in there, right under the radar, so nobody can notice it. Right? Go ahead, Li. Continue.
Hector caught me. Anyway, give Peraza shortstop because we know I cannot field. I can't field. But and Spencer Jones, he can be our version of Cody Bellinger. Now he can have a better bat than Cody Bellinger, but I'm talking about the defensive versatility. Because if you heard what Dan Huber of NYY News TV said,
shout out to Dan,
when he was rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, he was working out not in the outfield, but at first base just to get baseball activity going. So he has that experience. Yes, is it major league experience, what everybody loves? No. He's in single A. But that experience of going from center field, left field, right field, first base makes him valuable. Because nowadays, guys, you need versatility in your outfield and your infield. So that's why what I'm saying is Cashman needs to identify the guys. Who is the guys? Is it Jones? Is it Flo? Is it Dominguez? Is it Peraza? Is it Volpe? So, all right, these are my 5 guys. Stick did it last time. Just copy what Stick did. Is all right, these are my 5 guys. I'm not moving. I'm not trading. They are not going anywhere. Everybody else, is touchable.
Yeah. No,
My
listen.
touchables: Dominguez, Florial, Peraza, Volpe, and Jones.
Yo, I swear to God, Li, I'm going to get you to meet Estevan Florio one of these days. Like, I swear to God, I got it on my bucket list. If there's one thing that I'm gonna do with my life is make sure that you, Li Yankee King, meet your favorite Yankee, Estevan Florio. I guarantee you that.
Actually,
But I'm
can I
gonna
say one last quick thing because I got
go ahead, Maza. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
But
brother.
I'm going to put out 3 things that the Yankees need to start focusing on: getting younger, getting rid of dead spots in the lineup, i.e., Josh Donaldson, and making smarter decisions in what they do in the front office. So that means using Sabian and using Mania as the brains of the operation. Let them do it, and then
100%.
bounce ideas off each other to make it so that you get the right pieces to get us
Facts.
just to the World Series.
Facts.
But with that being said, I got to dip. I got to get back to work.
Maza, love you,
Time
baby.
for all of y'all. And Hector, you and I will speak during the week.
Definitely. Mikey Maza, do your thing. Peace, brother. Have a good day at work. And please, guys, make sure you guys sub to my guy Mikey Maza in the 4 Train Express. What happened, Caputo? You was gonna say something?
No, I was just going to say, we talk about how you were saying that it's not all about buying superstars every year and it's not a guarantee, right? But look what the Mets are doing, the San Diego Padres are doing, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are doing. They don't care about the payroll. They're just going over it like crazy, like hardcore. So why can't the Yankees learn from what the Padres are doing and the Dodgers and the Mets? They're doing
because the Mets spent all that money last year to get eliminated in the wild card round by the Padres.
Yeah, the Padres have the World Series caliber team.
None of them have won anything yet.
They haven't won anything.
They're better than the Yankees.
But they, what happened?
They're better than the Yankees. It's not even close.
Who went further? Who went further in the playoffs last season? The Padres or the Yankees?
The Yankees got swept by the Astros.
Who went further in the playoffs last year?
The Yankees. They got humiliated. I don't go by that.
No, I'm just saying. So wait. You're going by payroll construction and the success that comes from payroll construction, right? So I'm asking you, what was the success for the Padres last year? How far did they go in
the NLCS? But they also made it as further as the Yankees. You said that the Yankees went further. They both went to the championship round, but they both got eliminated. At least the Padres actually won a few games. I mean, the Yankees got humiliated.
Did the Padres win their division, or were they a wild card team?
They were a wild card team, but they beat the Dodgers
with the third highest payroll.
They beat the Dodgers, and they were what were they? An 83 win team, the Dodgers, and the Padres and the Dodgers were a 111 win team. So you can't go by all that stuff because the Dodgers won 111 games and the Padres won 83 games, and look what happened. So I mean,
the third highest payroll for 83 wins. TC Stills, I'm gonna throw it to you with the conversation because the Yankees have to figure out the number 5 starter, right? We've seen somewhat out of Domingo Germán, Clark Smith. What's your takes when it comes to the 5th starter in the Yankees rotation? And I'm gonna have you throw it over to Uncle Tax right afterwards.
Well, it's spring and it's early to say, but Clark Schmidt looked fantastic. And Germán did too, but I'm leaning toward Clark Schmidt as the 5th starter because I like Germán in the bullpen. Germán's more of a 1 to 2 inning guy. Once he goes through the lineup 2-3 times, he starts getting hit. So my choice would be Schmidt, but I honestly think they might do a 6-man rotation early in the season. Mm-hmm. So that could be the case, but yeah, I like Schmidt.
I've liked that cutter so far from Smith. So far, like it has movement. He's not throwing it with crazy velocity. He's focused on the control and the movement. So far, it's surprising a lot of hitters, right? He's catching a lot of hitters. So hopefully that's something that he can.
Pitch.
Yeah, he could work on, and it could lead to good success during the season. Uncle Tat, same question going to your way. But before Uncle Tats go, Jonathan, good morning, brother. Hope all is well. Glad to have you on the panel, my man. It's been a minute. Hope all is good. Hope all is good. But Uncle Tat, same question going your way. And then afterwards, I want you to throw it over to Jonathan to get his take about the number 5 starter.
No, I think it has to go to Schmidt. I was saying earlier on my show with Donald that it was when you see a player come into camp and they recognize that they need to either add to their arsenal or improve their current arsenal. You'll play. Schmidt came in knowing he needed another pitch, and he went and he worked on the cutter. His first spring training, we got to see him use the cutter that he had developed for himself. That just shows a motivation that you come to expect from somebody fighting for a spot. Not that, well, I'm a younger guy. I have, I could walk into it. He put the work in. So that's where I give Schmidt the upper hand over Herman. Herman is also a very reliable starter where but the expectations are not high enough. So he fits into that fifth spot. But he's also very experienced in the bullpen, as is Schmidt. So I think you're going to see more of a platoon with those two guys between that fifth starter and a bullpen need. But I think Schmidt at this stage of spring training, because it's only a week, at this stage, I think Schmidt has the upper hand.
Okay. 100% agree. Jonathan, my man, glad to have you on the conversation, bro. Sorry that you were late, but it's better late than never, right, brother? As they always say.
I was finishing something to do, but
hey, listen,
my plan ran from 11 to 12, which is when you start.
All good. You no need to explain yourself, Jonathan. But same question going your way when it comes to the Yankees and the number 5 starter. What's your take on it? And I would throw it over to Eli and then Caputos as well. Go ahead, Jonathan.
As of now, I agree. I think Schmidt. I think the Yankees have. If you think back to the beginning, the Yankees drafted Schmidt knowing he was hurt. He was going to have Tommy John surgery, and they kept
great point.
him. So they obviously see something in him that they wouldn't just let him not have this opportunity. So I honestly think Schmidt will be the number 5 starter, and the Yankees will give him every opportunity to become the number 5 starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listen, I can't disagree with you. That's a great point. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, once you said it, it just snuck a thought. It just hit my memory. The Yankees did sign Clark Smith knowing that he was going to have Tommy John surgery, knowing that he would have to recover and take time to recover. But Eli, same question going your way when it comes to the number 5 starter. What's your take? And then throw it to my boy Caputis.
Yeah.
Drum roll. I'm going with Chuck. I'm going Clark Schmidt. And the way I would do it is Domingo Germán is a free agent at season's end. Since he lost the... Now, Cashman, this is going to take you having a brain. So I'm going to say this slowly for you. What I would do is I would trade Germán because he's a free agent at season's end. Get some prospects. Who knows? Maybe a team is desperate, gives us a nice prospect. Maybe we can get a Clayton Beater-esque package. Probably not, but maybe. Maybe take a shot in the dark. Trade Domingo Germán. But now you're asking, oh, wait. LI, we need another starter. I would put Michael King in that 6th spot. Because Michael is going to be Corey Kluber 2.0. I can't see it.
You had me. You had me.
No, he's a reliever. No, that is not where Michael King thrives. Yes, he thrived last year, but he's built to be a starter.
No.
We can develop another reliever.
Here, Eli, give me a hug. Give me a hug, Eli.
The Yankees have developed so many relievers.
That'd be a big mistake.
That I'm not worried about putting King in the rotation. It's like, oh, I can just pluck somebody from the Pirates. It's like, hey, Athletics, you're selling everybody. Give me somebody. And then boom, they're just a good reliever.
Oh man, no, hold on, wait. I apologize. The police are coming to my house to come arrest Li for that take that he just made right now. Li, you know I love you, bro, but I just can't see the Yankees making the decision to move Michael King to the rotation, especially coming off of an injury. Right, Michael King was never built up when it comes to innings to go for a whole season, 160 innings, 180 innings. When he was used as a starter, he's never pitched over 100 innings as a starting pitcher at the major league level. Right, so that's why they transitioned him to the bullpen. Coming back from an injury that blows up your elbow, that's scary. I don't think any organization would then take that player and put him into the rotation to have that heavy workload put on him. Look what happened to Mark Pryor, who had the same injury Michael King had. I understand it's like a 15-year difference. Medical advancement is medical advancement. Michael Caputo's dog is barking at him right now. But no, I get that. No, but I wouldn't make that move. But Caputo, I'm gonna throw it over to you, brother. When it comes to the Yankees and that fifth starter, what you seeing, bro? What's your take on that?
I guess it's going to be Domingo Germán, because where else are they going to go with him? Unless they trade for another starter, they could trade for another starter because Frankie Montas and now Nestor Cortez. It looks like he's ready. I mean, that hamstring injury, I think that was kind of a fake injury. They basically lied because they wanted to keep him out of the World Baseball Classic. So he looks like he's ready to go. They're saying that he's ahead of schedule and he's not going to miss opening day. So the only one that you have to worry about is the fifth starter. So I guess they could just go with Germán or trade for somebody. It's not like an emergency. I would, like I told you, I would worry about the offense, left field, third base, and maybe they could get a lefty reliever maybe because they have a lot of right-handed relievers. But that's what I would focus on right now to improve this team and make it better. And we forgot to talk about the rules.
I was gonna bring that up as the next topic. I'll throw it over to Tash to start it off. But people, I just want you to take note of something. This is what you call growth, right? When it comes to Caputo, this is how growth works, right? Because Caputo, right before this segment, was talking about spending money, and he decided to go with Domingo Germán instead of Trevor Bauer. Caputo, I just want to say I appreciate your growth during this conversation we just had.
And another thing, people could disagree with me. You can say what you want. I'm not trying to be politically correct, but I would never take a man like Trevor Bauer that allegedly raped a woman and beat a woman. So he's not on my radar. So see you later, Trevor Bauer.
I agree. And listen, just so you know, that's not being politically correct. That's pointing out somebody that's a dirtbag. That's basically what that is. But I'll throw it over to you, Uncle Tats. When it comes to these new rule changes that we've seen in Major League Baseball, specifically the time clock, what's your take on the time clock, the bases, the shifts? We've seen Aaron Hicks get about 3 hits that would have been caught if the shift was on from last year, the same thing. But go ahead, Uncle Tash, throw it over to TC, then Jonathan, brother.
As always referred to as the oldest man in the room. And they always joke around with me on my channel about how I was at the very first Major League Baseball game. But the clock, I can't stand the clock. It drives me nuts. I only watch one sport, all right? Most of you people know that. I only watch baseball. The other sports don't matter. The reason is because there was no clock. That was my trophy that I held up of why my sport was better than yours. Then baseball, Manfred, not to dismiss him, took that away. So I got a big middle finger. I don't like the clock. I think it was more problems than it solves problems. I really do. And if you got, for people that like the clock, I'm not going to try to change your mind. Don't try to change mine. It's not going to happen. I will never accept the clock in baseball. On the shift, I think that's one of the better things they did for the game. I really do. You want to improve offense? That's how you do it. Not all this other BS. We don't need bigger bases so they can steal, an extra 5 bases a year, because they're not going to steal bases. It's not going to. I don't think it's really going to improve that. You're not going to improve the offense by making the bases bigger, because stealing bases is not analytically acceptable. So they're not going to go back to that. I don't think that I don't think they made the game better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's crazy because having that interview yesterday, if you guys missed it, I was able to interview the top shortstop prospect out of the Chicago Cubs system. And the first thing he said was like, when he saw the new bases, the first thing he thought is like, wow, that looks like a pizza box. TC, still same question going your way when it comes to the changes. What's your takeaway? To throw it over to Jonathan and then LI.
Yeah, I totally agree with Uncle Tats that the time clock, the pitch clock is it's not good for the game. I mean, yeah, I get it. They're trying to speed up the game, but I don't know if you guys were able to catch Bernie Williams was on the telecast yesterday of the game, and he was talking about how he used the he used the taking time out to slow down the pitcher, and it's a mental game. He used that to his advantage, and you can't do that now. You got to get in the box and hurry up. Honestly, I think it's going to last a year, and they're going to trash it. Especially what was that? There was a game that ended on a pitch clock violation or something, and the run scored. And
It was Red Sox Atlanta.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You can't have a game end like that. So, but as far as the bases, I think it's more of a safety issue. I don't know how much more stolen bases there's going to be. But I do love the shift. I love the no shift, keeping the guys on the proper sides of the field. Can't have them in the outfield playing rover positions, 4 outfielders. I love it. It's going to increase. It's going to help the Yankees a lot. So I'm looking forward to it.
If I can, I just want to address something real quick. Caputo, I love you. Please stop. Ignore the people in the chat.
I love you too, bro. But
no. But Caputo, I'm going to mute you. That's what I'm going to do. Right? I've asked you several times. Just stop interacting with the people in the chat. Right? There's people that are at work right now that are taking their time to go back and forth in the chat and be in the chat. So please respect the stream and just ignore the people in the chat. Per favor, please. I'm begging you, please. Jonathan, same question going your way. What's your takeaway when it comes to that?
Well, the only thing I like the bigger bases. I like the no shift. Everything else needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 things I would keep around. The bigger bases, I understand it's helpful for, especially it might help with preventing injuries if you think about it with a bigger base and people stepping on the first baseman's ankles and stuff like that. And the shift is I never liked the shift because the shift is
It's not
essentially
it's not natural.
In the 90s, everybody wanted, after the 94 strike, they wanted offense to go up. So they allowed things that they weren't allowed now. They allowed shift. They allowed more offense. I mean,
steroids.
And if you think about a guy like Don Mangley hits the ball anywhere, all over the field, and you don't have guys who can do very much of that anymore. Everyone over the last 20 years likes to pull the ball, and if baseball really wants to improve, they need to teach their players not always to pull the ball for a home run, because when it's a tie game and a close game, doing small ball is also fun. Not always the home run is the right thing to do. Sometimes you want a little bit more excitement. You want a single to the left field, a bunt hit, maybe and a sacrifice fly, and with 2 outs, and the next guy gets an opposite field single to win the game.
Yeah.
What's
96 Yankees were like that.
Is that scenario better than just one guy hitting a home run to end the game and not having the dramatic excitement for those 10 minutes?
Team baseball, it makes team baseball is what we're missing in 2023. We're missing the guys that were able to get on base by any means necessary. When's the last time you guys seen a Baltimore chop actually be done in a Major League Baseball game? I don't remember. If it happens, it's by accident and not on purpose.
Nobody does a suicide squeeze or a safety squeeze anymore.
Great point. I don't even remember the last time I've seen the Yankees trying to do a suicide squeeze or a safety squeeze.
Nobody even hits and runs anymore.
Yeah. So that's what baseball needs to get back to. You need to incorporate small ball as well as long ball, and the last 20 years has been majority long ball.
Yeah. As we continue the conversation going forward, if you guys can, I know there's a lot of people in the building right now. We got 26 people that are watching. Hit the likes for the guys real quick. And if you guys can, please sub to the new channel, The Morning Brew Sports. If you guys don't mind, come join the conversation over there. Li, same question going your way. When it comes to the shift, and then throw it over to Caputis. When it comes to the shift, when it comes to the rule changes, when it comes to the clocks, what's your likes and dislikes with the new system?
First, hit the like or Shawn Michaels is gonna come super kick you. Anyway.
I need to have a graphic. I'm gonna make a graphic, Li, for next time. So when you say that, I could just throw Shawn Michaels in there. Go ahead, Li.
And anyway, I kind of like the pitch clock. I know it's strategic, but I like when a pitcher is there. I like when a pitcher has the pitch comp on him, so he can just tap his pitch and go, all right, I'm ready. Boom, go, boom, go.
Yeah.
Because I want my pitcher confident in what he is throwing. Yes, is it going to affect young guys? You can have a veteran catcher there to be the guy to help that young guy work it. There's still going to be mound visits. The rule changes did not prohibit mound visits. There still can be mound visits. But the one rule that I absolutely love is the pickoff rule. I am so sick and tired of pitchers going over when their pickoff move is as slow as Gary the Snail. It's like your pickoff move sucks. Stop throwing over 474 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one thing that always grind my gears. Like if someone gets on first base and then the pitcher takes 3 straight pitches to throw it over, that was something that grind my gears. It helps speed the game up a little bit faster. You know, I know none of us here on this panel will complain about having to watch a 4-hour baseball game. I know none of us will complain about it, right? But if we got a game that's 2.5 hours or 3 hours, that's pretty good, right?
Yep.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Lock that up.
But,
Caputo's. Same. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done that line? My fault, bro.
Oh no. But anyway, the the pitch clock. No one is going to notice it come May, April. People are going to notice it. There's going to be some game that ends. I'm not going to be really worried about it. By May, no one will notice this. The bigger bases, I love it. These guys are investments. They are protecting the investment. And more stolen bases will happen. Obviously not for the Yankees because they're a bunch of 30-year-olds that can't steal bases outside of Gleyber Torres, Oswald Peraza, and Oswaldo Cabrera. That's about it. But anyway, for any other team, stolen bases are going to be key to this game.
I want to get Uncle Tat's take on this real quick. Caputo, just hold on 1 second. Uncle Tat's, make it quick. That way I can throw it over to Caputo to get his take on it. Because I see you got that one little vein in your head that is driving. That's the same one that bumps for me as well. Go ahead, Tats.
The throwing over, it's such a joke. You throw over once. Like, what are we doing? Like, seriously. It's all part of the strategy. If you have a pitcher that's struggling, part of throwing over is one, because they don't want to just stand there with the pitcher and catcher staring at each other. All right, let's throw over, reset, and figure out what we want to throw next. Like that's part of it. Is it taken to the extreme? Absolutely. All right. We don't need to see 40 throwovers to first base, but only one, and then on the second one, if you don't get him, he gets it's considered a balk. It's like,
I think it's two throwovers.
Is it two? Whatever it is, but there's got to be a middle ground, right? MLB has not found that middle ground, and I didn't get the chance to say this earlier. I will almost guarantee that these rule changes will not bring in one fan.
I agree.
All right. Caputo, same question going your way when it. Oh, I'm sorry, Tats. Go ahead. Would you finishing?
In fact, one bit of a new audience. There is nobody saying, well, now that the game is 2.5 hours instead of 3, that half hour is going to impact their lives so much that they watch baseball. It's not going to happen.
Hey, listen, it gives them an extra 30 minutes to watch a SpongeBob episode, Uncle Tat. Stop hating on Spongy Bob, all right? Caputos. Same question going your way, Caputos. When it comes to the new rule changes, what's your likes and what's your dislikes?
Okay, well, the likes, I guess the bigger bases and the shift being banned, even though I'm not for these new rules because I'm old school. I don't like the pitch clock. Hopefully I could get used to it, but I don't like that timer, seeing that timer on the side. It's very annoying, and I hope we don't see that throughout the whole season. But the Yes Network just addressed it, that they're not going to show that pitch clock, so I guess we don't have to worry about that. But I guess I could get used to the pitch clock, but I don't like that rule. And I don't like any, these rules in general, like every single year that they change making these new rules. They have to stop. They're just catering to the younger fans because they're TikTok Yankee fans and they're not old school fans. And they're just catering to the younger fans. Not you, Hector, because you're more old school. But I'm just saying they're catering to the younger fans. Isn't this supposed to be the national pastime? Baseball is supposed to be the national pastime, and making it only 2 hours is like, that's I'm used to seeing a 3-hour game, a 4-hour game, and I'm gonna miss that now. It's gonna be so the games are gonna be so so quick, and they're gonna be over so fast that's not really used to the game I'm watching. So I hope I get used to it, but that's a little too fast for a baseball game. Don't you think? 2 hours. I'm used to really seeing a 3-hour and a 4.5 hour game. I mean, that's
what people have to understand when it comes to these rule changes that were made by Major League Baseball, and we're just throwing it around just to get everybody's last take before we dip out. What people have to understand about these rule changes, they may come out and say, oh, it's to speed up the game. It's to make it faster, more accessible to people. In all honesty, it's to make money, right? Because think of it like this. If you have a TV service, Yes Network, SNY, whatever, right, and you have a 4-hour time block that is locked in for the Mets or for the Yankees, those 4 hours are there, right? If you could shrink that down to 2.5 hours, you can charge more for commercials. You can charge more for ads than you would on a 4-hour block, because a 2.5-hour block, you can say, I don't have that much airtime to run your commercials during a Yankee game, so the price is going to come up a little bit more if you want to buy ad space for commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to it, they made cloak the whole entire thing about, speeding up the game, getting a new fan base, getting a new generation interested into the game. It's all about making money. That's what it is, and that's what it always will be. Right now, there's actually MLB, they're scrambling, right? Because the company that owns certain local TV networks, like you guys see like the Kansas City Royals, you see that they will be on Fox Sports or FXN Sports or something like that. Valley Sports, yeah. The company that produces all of those things for Major League Baseball, they went under over this past month. They literally went out of business. So Major League Baseball, they're scrambling to try to find a new vendor before the season starts. So all these new rule changes, it's all rule changes, but at the same time, they're trying to scramble to find a new vendor to produce these games for the Kansas City Royals, for the LA Angels, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, because those teams, they don't have a Yes Network. Mm-hmm. They don't have an SNY. Right? They don't have the same thing like they have in Boston. The Oakland A's is one of those teams that they may not be able to show their games if Major League Baseball doesn't fix this. So when it all comes down to it, right? Everything that Major League Baseball does is for one thing and one thing only, to make money. When it comes to the throw over, I understand what you're saying, but what people are failing to realize, and this is something that they pointed out during the Yes broadcast this weekend, what people are failing to realize with the pickoff move is you can only throw it over 2 times per batter, right? I mean, per each person that's at first base, you can only throw it over twice, right? But what they didn't mention is you can step off as many times as you want. If you're a pitcher that try to throw it over the first base twice and you can't throw it over the first base anymore, if you see that guy's about to run, you can step off, let him take a couple of steps, and then you could throw it to second base, or you could try to run and catch him in a rundown. So those are the little things that they leave out of the rule changes, because those are the rule changes, but people aren't dissecting the rules. Yes, you can only throw it over twice, but the pitcher can step off as many times and as many times as he wants. So it's coming around that time, 12:33. I'm gonna start up with Tats, right? For the rest of the spring training, Uncle Tats, what do you want to see from this team? What do you want to see from these players? And overall, who are you looking out for the rest of spring training?
I'll keep an eye on Pereira. I want to see him starting at shortstop. I want to see him get as much shortstop play as possible. I want to see Volpe playing second and third on a more of consistent basis, because I think that's where he's going to have that's where he's going to find his home, in one of those 2 spots. And I want to see Ortega, how he pans out with left field today. I want to see Dominguez. I want to see a lot of growth from him. I don't want to wait another year for him. The time is now.
Good point. Good point. And I'm gonna throw it over to TC Stills. Go ahead, TC Stills. Same question coming your way. Sunil, I apologize. We're about to cut the stream off right now, but Sunil, this Tuesday, I'm gonna make for the rest of spring training, Tuesdays and Thursdays will be open panel going forward. So you don't got to worry about Thursdays only being open panel. So for the rest of spring training, both Tuesdays and Thursdays will be open panel. So Sunil, make sure you come by this Tuesday for the open panel. But TC, same question going your way, brother.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as Uncle Tats. I want the same guys. I want to see Volpe a lot at second base. I want to see what how he looks there, because I think that's his position. Got to see more of Clark Schmidt. I think he's going to get that fifth starter, and then just figure out this left field, please. Like I can't have Hicks out there. I just please. Somebody
say
Calhoun, Ortega.
Somebody step up. Esteban Florial, step up for the love of LI.
Come on, Florial, do it for LI, please. Yeah, pretty much that, and then I'd love to see, I'd love to see who the backup catcher. I don't know if Higgy. I mean, I don't know. I guess he's gonna be there, but. I mean, Rortvet's out, so now I mean, hey, maybe this Navarez kid could come up. I don't know. He looks pretty good. So
especially with the injury.
See what happens.
Especially with the injury to Austin Wells, hopefully he comes back good. He got a fractured rib that's going to sideline him for 3 to 6 weeks. They weren't sure if it was a fractured rib or a ruptured oblique, right? So hopefully it gets figured out. An oblique issue, you guys know, obliques, they can last more than 3 to 6 weeks. That's something that could mess with you for the next 2 months, especially if you're a catcher. Jonathan, same question going your way, brother, and I'll throw it over to Caputis and then Ella to close us out. For the rest of spring training, what are you keeping your eye on? What do you want to see from the team, and which player do you want to see step up? Go ahead, brother.
I'm looking for a left field number 5 starter, and now that I think of it, a backup catcher. And one person that doesn't get mentioned as far as the backup catcher very often is Siegler.
I love Anthony Siegler.
I think Siegler could be a option for a backup catcher. So I'm really also, now that I see it in the chat, I'm interested. I'm very curious about Chaparro. What is his? Because I personally think Chaparro is going to replace Donaldson at some point during this season. Yeah,
same. And I'm praying. Go ahead, Jonathan. Sorry, go ahead.
Chaparro, backup catcher, and starter left field, and number 5 starter are the 4 things I'm looking for at in spring training this year.
I'm praying that Chaparro is able to make this team, because I was able to interview Chappie, and he is a phenomenal person. He is a phenomenal human being. The way that you could tell that he is a team first player, and all he cares about is his teammates. Real good young man. Go ahead, Jonathan.
One question I have for you, since you interviewed him, do you think Chaparro could be similar to Miguel Andujar, but a better fielder?
He's a way better fielder than Miguel Andujar. A way better fielder. It's not even close. The two difference.
How is it that? I've never.
When it comes to Chaparro, when the Yankees first signed him, when he was young, 16 through 19, he was touted as a really good glove, as probably like one of the best infielders in the system. It wasn't until the last 2 years that he actually hit that growth spurt and grew into his body, which allowed him to become a way better hitter, right? So his hitting is finally caught up to his fielding. So the Yankees may be able to, and he's versatile too. He could play third base and first base. He's better at third base, but he still does have some innings under his belt at first base.
Yankees need a new young core, and I think Chaparro could be part of it.
I definitely do as well. Caputis, same question going your way, my brother. When it comes to this spring training, what are the things that you're keeping your eye on? Whether that be, like Jonathan said, a backup catcher, left field, a number 5 starter, or one of the young kids. Who are you keeping your eye on? What are you keeping your eye on, and what do you want to look for?
Yeah, so left fielder, I still think we have to get a third baseman, even though we have Donaldson there. Trade Donaldson, trade Hicks, Kyle Fluff. These guys have to be traded. And I guess shortstop, I always got to say shortstop, but they're going to go with Volpe or Peraza. And, lefty reliever. I don't think we're going to get another starter or reliever, but if they could get maybe another lefty reliever, because they have so many bullpen arms, but that's not a main priority. But I think definitely getting a left fielder, third baseman possible, and you got to trade Donaldson and Aaron Hicks. They have to be traded. Please trade them. And even Gleyber Torres. You know, I was saying this earlier. He has the most value out of all those guys. I understand the Yankees don't want to trade him because, God forbid, DJ LeMahieu gets injured. So that's apparently why they're keeping him. But look at the value that he has. I mean, you could get like a top, like maybe a reliever or a starter for him if you trade him. Look, I mean, he's got the most value right now. He's 26 years old. He's got a high ceiling. Why don't you just trade him? I mean, they're going to play DJ LeMahieu anyways. So I wouldn't be so eager to keep Torres. I mean, to me, he hasn't really been that great for the last 2 years anyways. So I would try to trade Torres so you could get somebody back and maybe put him in a trade for Brian Reynolds.
Yeah. The thing is, when it comes to Torres, I agree with you when it comes to trading Gleyber Torres right now to try to get as much value as you can back for him. What hurts the Yankees is that Gleyber Torres, he's not a shortstop. He's not a major league shortstop, because if he was a major league shortstop, the first thing that you could do is call up the LA Dodgers and ask them what do they want to give up for Gleyber Torres, because they're in desperate need of a shortstop right now. Without Gavin Lux, who's probably going to miss, if not half of the season, the whole season, I don't know. It's going to be tough for the Dodgers. They got to try to figure it out, especially with the way that the NL West is turning out to be. It looks like it's going to be a tough division. The Padres is who the Padres are. The Dodgers are who the Dodgers are. And you don't know with the Giants. The Giants are knocking on the door right there. Arizona has improved as well. It's just like the American League West. Everybody can say for years that the Astros, they ran the American League West, but now you see the Seattle Mariners starting to step up. Now you see if the Texas Rangers can stay healthy, they can step up. Go ahead, Jonathan. What were you saying?
Do you see any possibility of any type of trade between the Yankees and the Dodgers, because the Yankees have an abundance of infielders?
If they want IKF, they can have IKF, right? If they want IKF, they can have him because they need a shortstop. But I don't think the return for IKF will be as great if it was Gleyber Torres being traded as a shortstop. Like if Gleyber Torres was a shortstop, Jonathan, we can ask the Dodgers for one of their top pitching prospects, right? We can't do that with IKF. There's no way. They're not giving us the top pitching prospects for IKF. But if it was Gleyber Torres who was able to be a major league shortstop, and if we called up the Dodgers, then they would be able to get one of the top pitching prospects, because that's the one thing the Dodgers have. They have a lot of top pitching prospects, and that's what we need from our system, especially after we depleted it for the trades that we made this past trade deadline.
The trade is still killing us this year.
Yeah, that's how I want to close it out with. As soon as Uncle Tats get back, I'll throw the question his way. But Jonathan, I want to ask you then, and let's throw it around. Let's throw it over to Caputo next, and then TC Stills to close out for the last question. What's a worse trade, the Frankie Montas trade or the Josh Donaldson trade?
I think
the Josh Donaldson and IKF trade.
I think Montas, because Montas came with better pitching prospects that we could have used, and people will want pitching prospects more than infield prospects, which we have too much of.
Okay. Caputi, same question going your way. What do you think was the worst trade, the Frankie Montas trade or the trade for Josh Donaldson and IKF, when you look back on it?
Oh, man, that's a tiebreaker. Both train wrecks of trades. My God. Frankie Montas was a bust. He's always injured. Donaldson's old and washed up and needs to go. IKF, I don't know. I got to say, I'm still going to say Donaldson and Kiner-Falefa. I hate the Montas trade, and I actually was all for the Frankie Montas trade going back many months ago. I was like a big fan of it at the time. I wanted Luis Castillo, but I said only the second best pitcher available at the time was Montas. But now it's turned out to be probably one of the worst trades Brian Cashman has made. So, but I still have to say Josh Donaldson, because you're getting a 37-year-old guy at the end of his career. He should just retire now. He's done. It's like having Jay Bruce on the team. And it's a tie for me. But if you could ask me who I would pick, I guess Donaldson, Kiner-Falefa.
Uncle Tats, same question going your way. We kind of touched on this last week when we was having a conversation, but just to refresh the convo, what's the worst? What trade is worse?
I still say the Twins trade, and I say the Twins trade for one reason. I thought about this originally. I was said because, we ended up with more headaches. We got 2 headaches instead of 1. Right, that was my argument. It wasn't about the prospects.
Yeah,
the way that I continue to look at it, we wanted Montas after we missed out on Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
He can't complain that a player that we begged him to get didn't work out. It doesn't work that way. I don't think that's fair. So that's why I still stand on. I think the trade with the Twins, because we're going to see Donaldson and IKF. Worst case scenario, everyday players, where Montas is every 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that bad trade has a bigger impact day to day than the pitching trade with Oakland.
Yeah. And I agree with you, right? We gave up more to get Frankie Montas than we did to get Donaldson and IKF. We got rid of Gary Sanchez, who was a headache, right? We can all agree on that. Getting back Donaldson and IKF and Ben Vortback, to me, that's the worst trade, right? For one reason and one reason only. At least Frankie Montas, we don't have to see him every day. Frankie Montas is injured. He's not going to be on the field. Josh Donaldson is going to be on the field, right? IKF is going to be on the field. So every day we have to be hit with a constant reminder that we made the trade for Donaldson and IKF. After a month of not seeing Frankie Montas, we may forget that Frankie Montas is on the team, or we may forget that we traded for Frankie Montas. We can't do that with Josh Donaldson because we got to see that man and his fat face every day. Same thing with IKF. Gonna have to see him every day as well, right? Tony La Russa, he named Josh Donaldson the Grand Wizard of the KKK last year, right? If I can go back and not have that storyline or that, scenario happen, I would do that 100 times out of 100 times, right? I do not want Josh Donaldson a part of this team, especially that what happened last year. And I'm gonna keep on saying that Josh Donaldson got exposed for being the biggest fraud in Major League Baseball. Everybody said Josh Donaldson is such a badass. He's such a tough guy. He's such that locker guy, whatever. Yasmani Grandal got right in his face, and Josh Donaldson did not do a damn thing. He folded up. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jonathan.
What Michael put in the chat, I almost forgot it. Another guy we let go of is Urshela.
Yeah.
I think Urshela was probably a better option at third base than Donaldson, even though Donaldson has a longer history. I think Urshela is cheaper.
Better.
Yeah, definitely better. Urshela,
especially, and I'll throw it over to TC Stills to close this out. Especially when we were sold on the idea. We traded for Josh Donaldson to improve our lineup because he doesn't strike out as much, because he walks, because he hits home runs. That's what we were sold when we got Josh Donaldson. If you guys remember that horrible interview with Brian Cashman, and he said, well, we did improve. We got Josh Donaldson. We improved our lineup, and now our lineup is horrible because Gio had a better season than Josh Donaldson last year. Go ahead, Jay.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier in the chat. I talked about we needed to get more on-base guys and less strikeout home run guys. That was Urshela compared to Donaldson.
Yeah.
Urshela was an on-base hit, singles, doubles, instead of a home run strikeout guy like Donaldson.
Yeah. Listen, going back on it, I'm going to say it. That was the worst trade. Like I said, Frankie Montas, we gave up more prospects, but with the Josh Donaldson thing, we gave up a third baseman that was already a better third baseman than Josh Donaldson and Gio Urshela, right? Better average, better RBIs, better on-base percentage, less strikeout words and everything. TC Stills, what is your last words before we close it out for these fine, beautiful people? Take us home, baby.
All right, so I'll wrap this up right here with they're both pretty close. We gave up more for Montas, I think. I was gonna lean toward the Montas, but thinking about what you guys are saying with Donaldson, seeing him, at least he's there. He gives us a little production, but the trade is the worst because we could have had Carlos Correa for the same money that we gave Donaldson, and we could have had Urshela at third and Correa at short for the same money. That's the worst trade.
You just broke my heart, bro. You just broke my heart because we brought in $30 million for those three players: Donaldson, IKF, and Ben Vortback.
Yep.
I just want to understand, if I could be a fly on the wall in the front office, What was the logic? What stopped you from spending that extra $5 million for Carlos Correa, knowing that he was going to opt out at the end of the season to try to get more money?
You didn't even
I'll tell
get
you what, it's Cashman. It's Cashman trying to be smarter than everyone else. That's why.
Hey, can't say anything else. Guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Of course, shout out to the chat. Of course, shout out to my man Sunil in the chat. Tyler Tabbitt in the chat as well. Rashard Thompson in the chat. Appreciate everyone. Chris Perez Jr. Appreciate my guys. Jonathan, Michael Caputos, Uncle Tats, L.I. Yankee King, who hit the button by accident and left the screen. That's how excited he was about these conversations we was having. But people, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. All love and positivity. Like always, peace, salutation, and make sure you catch us Tuesday with another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. And if you guys can, hit the like button for the boys as you guys exit. Subscribe to the new channel, The Morning Brew Sports, and we are out of here. Peace.